Hi viewers, welcome to All Force e-learning and welcome back to physics class session 3. Chapter is force, session number 3. In the previous classes we have discussed about the force and types of forces and contact forces and non-contact forces, and we have gone through in detail in contact forces as well as in non-contact forces. Now, next topic is net force. Net force is also known as the resultant force. What is this resultant force or what is this net force? The thing is, in reality, all the forces acts on a body simultaneously. Let me say with the help of an example. Here you can see a table. An object is placed on the table. Now, what is the state of this object? Is it state of rest or is it state of motion? Yeah, by looking at this object, we can say it is at state of rest. Now, tell me what forces are acting on this object? Yeah, the previous class which we have discussed, the two forces are acting on this object. One is the force of gravity which acts vertically downwards, and another force is the normal force which is exerted by the table on this object. Two forces are acting on this object. Now, after acting these forces on this object, is there any change in the state of the object? No. The state of the object not changed. It is at rest position. It is in equilibrium position. Why like that? The thing is, whatever the forces acting on this object, all these forces are equal and opposite in direction. The normal force which is acting here and the force of gravity which is acting on this object, both the forces are equal but opposite in direction. Normal force is equal to force of gravity. Both the forces are equal. So the body is in equilibrium state, we can say. And of course, if it is in equilibrium state, we can say that this body is at rest position. Now, the resultant forces acting on this body, the net forces acting on this body is nothing but 0. So, net force, F net, the resultant force or the net force we call this one, which is equal to 0. As normal force and force of gravity both are same, so the resultant force, the net force is 0 in this case. For suppose, if the same object is placed in a moving lift and the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a, what happens in that case? Let us study now that. Let's say this is the lift, a lift, same object is placed in the lift here now. The same object is placed in the lift. Now the thing is, the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a. Now what forces are acting on this object? What is the state of this object? Is it at rest position or is in motion? Yeah, I already said that lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a. Now we can also say that this object is also moving along with the lift upwards. The state of the object is in motion. Now what is the net force acting on this object? Before going to know the net force, we need to know about the forces acting on this object first of all. What are the forces acting on this object? The thing is, as this is contact with this lift, so the normal force acts here, which is acting vertically upwards, and it is resting on this lift. So the gravitational force also acts vertically downwards. Again, the two forces are acting here on this object, normal force and force of gravity. These two things are acting on it. And one more thing is that as the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration, the object is also moving along with the lift here. Now, one thing I want to say here, as I said that this lift is moving upwards with an acceleration, here one word is involved, acceleration. What is the meaning of this acceleration? If any object moves with a non-uniform velocity, then we can say that object is moving with an acceleration. For suppose, if the object moves with a constant velocity or same velocity throughout the motion, then the acceleration acts on the body is 0. Here, I am already saying that this lift is moving upwards with an acceleration. Now we can say that this lift is moving upwards with a non-uniform motion. In the case of non-uniform motion, the net force acting on the object is not equal to 0, because the forces which are acting on this object are not equal. The normal reaction force and force of gravity is not equal here, so that net force is not equal to 0 here in this case, because the object along with the lift is moving upwards. The object is moving in the direction of the greater force. As I said that this lift is moving upwards, the object along with this lift also moving upwards. In what direction it is moving? In the direction of the normal force it is moving upwards. So the normal force is greater than the force of gravity, and it is not equal here. Normal force is greater than the force of gravity. So the net force acting on this object is now, the net force acting on this object is nothing but the greater force minus the smaller force. As I said, the two forces are acting here and the lift is moving upwards. Lift is moving upwards means it is moving in the direction of the normal force. So normal force is greater than the force of gravity. So the net force acting on this object is normal force minus the force of gravity, which is not equal to 0. Net force is not equal to 0 here in this case. When a body is moving with non-uniform motion, in that case the net force acting on this body is not equal to 0. Whereas here in this case, the body is at state of rest, the body is in equilibrium position. I said, if it is in equilibrium position, the forces which are acting on this object all are equal but opposite in direction. So the net force acting on this body is 0 here in this case. I hope you understand this concept. Next, the thing is units of the force we shall discuss. This is about the net force. Next topic is the unit of the force. Okay, before going to say this units of the force, one more thing I want to say, that the magnitude of the force, nothing but the strength of the force, can be determined by knowing its magnitude. As I am saying that, always I am saying that force is applied. The strength of the force can be known by its magnitude. So the magnitude of the force gives the strength of the force here. And one more thing is that about the direction. The direction of the force is usually represented with this symbol, this arrow mark. This is called an arrow mark, which is nothing but direction of the force. Strength of the force is indicated by the magnitude, whereas direction of the force usually represented with this symbol. The symbol name is an arrow mark. I hope you understand. Now I will move to the next topic. The topic is units of the force. Units of the force. So the thing is, the force is expressed in terms of what? For example, the distance between Karimnagar and Hyderabad is 150 kilometer. See, I am expressing the distance in terms of the kilometer here. Okay, for suppose you have gone for a shop to purchase sugar. You ask the shopkeeper, give me 1 kg of sugar. You are expressing the quantity of sugar in terms of kg. Like the same way, the force is also expressed in terms of certain unit. Okay, let us discuss that now. Units of force. In SI system, in standard international system, the unit of force is Newton, and it is represented by the symbol capital N. Whereas CGS unit of force is dyne, and no symbol for this. The thing is, Newton is a scientist. The SI unit of force is named after a scientist whose name is Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. Whereas CGS unit of force is dyne. In Greek language, dyne means force. The meaning of dyne is force. I hope you understand this. Now I will give the relation between this Newton and dyne also. 1 Newton is equal to 10 power 5 dyne. This is the relation between SI unit of force to the CGS unit of force. I hope you understand this concept. Now I will move into the next concept. So the thing is, force is expressed in terms of Newton in SI system and force is expressed in terms of dyne in CGS system. Now, effects of the force. Effects of force on a, okay, the next topic is effects of net force on a table. The previous concept we just understand what is the net force, and with help of few examples I explained what is the net force or resultant force. The next topic is effects of net force on a table. So the thing is, let's imagine this is the table which is resting on this floor. Now you try to push the table. Is it so hard to push? Okay, ask your friend to help you in pushing the table in the same direction. Let's say the force applied by you is F1 and the force applied by your friend is F2. Now in this case, what happens? Is it easy to push the table when compared to the previous case? Yes, it is very easy to push the table in this case. You notice that it is easy to push the table when you have taken your friend help. It is just because the force applied by your friend gets added to the force applied by you. So which results, both the forces which are acting on the table in the same direction will push the table forward. So the total forces which are acting on the table, which is applied by both of you, pushes the table forward in the same direction. So here you felt so easy to push the table when your friend help you in this case. So the thing is, the forces which are applied by both of you on this table made it easy to push the table forward here. Another case, for suppose ask your friend to push the table from opposite direction. Let's say the force applied by your friend is F2. Now in this case what happens? Is the table at rest position? Yes, it is at rest position if both of you apply same forces on the table. If both the forces acting on the table is the same, the table will remain at rest. If one of you apply larger force on the table, what happens? Yeah, let us find the answer in this topic now. The thing is, all the forces has magnitude and direction. See, we have to take account the direction of the force. While adding the forces, we need to take the direction of the forces in the account. The thing is, here, the two forces which are acting opposite in direction here, the net force acting on the table is nothing but difference of these two forces. The net force acting on the table is nothing but the difference of these two forces. For suppose F1 is greater than F2. Then the net force acting on the table is difference of these two forces, which is F1 minus F2 in this case. Whereas the same way in the previous case is the table. As your friend and you applied forces, let's say the force applied by you is F1 and the force applied by your friend is F2. The net forces in this case, is the sum of the forces which are acting on this table, because the two forces which are acting on the table is same direction, along the same direction the two forces are acting. So the net force in this case is sum of the individual forces F1 plus F2. This is the net force in the case of when two forces applied in opposite direction, whereas here when two forces applied on the box in the same direction. Now let me give an example. With the help of this example, let us try to understand this topic. The thing is, let's say in this case, the first case, let's say F1 is 5 Newton. F1 is the 5 Newton force applied on the table. F2 is, let's say, 3 Newton. F2 is 3 Newton. Now what is the resultant force on this table? What is the net force on this table? F net is equal to greater force minus the smaller force, F1 minus F2. As F1 is 5, F2 is 3. So 2 Newton. So the net force is equal to 2 Newton. Now tell me in which direction the table is moving. As the F1 is greater here, so the table is moving in the direction of F1 with a force of 2 Newton. With a force of 2 Newton, the table is moving in the direction of F1 here in this case. Why in the direction of F1? Because the magnitude of F1 is more than the magnitude of the F2. So the resultant force acting on the table is 2 Newton and the direction of the force is in the direction of this F1. I hope you understand. Now, second example here in this case. Example, let's say F1 is 5 Newton and F2 is 3 Newton. Now in this case, what is the resultant force? As the forces are acting on the table in the same direction, so the resultant force here in this case is sum of the forces. As I said just now, the resultant force acting on the table is sum of the forces. So the net force acting on the table is F1 plus F2. So it is 5 plus 3, which is equal to 8 Newton. Resultant force is equal to 8 Newton. So the table is moving with a net force of 8 Newton in the right side, because the forces acting on the table towards the right, so table is moving towards the right with a force of 8 Newton. I hope you understand this concept. The resultant forces when two forces acts on the object in the same direction and when two forces acts on the object in opposite direction. Okay, in the previous topic we just learned about the net force acting on the body. The next topic is how to calculate net force from the free body diagram. Yeah, what is this free body diagram? Free body diagram means, the thing is, it is a diagram, all the forces acting on a body at a particular time or at a particular instant is known as a free body diagram. The diagram which is having all the forces acting on the body at a particular instant is known as free body diagram. In short, we can also say that FBD of a body, free body diagram of a body also we can say. FBD generally we call. Once again I am repeating this definition. Free body diagram means it is a diagram which shows all the forces acting on the body at a particular instant, okay, which is known as free body diagram. Now with the help of an example I will explain this how to calculate the net force by using the free body diagram. I will take an example, a moving car. Let's say example, a car moving with a non-uniform motion. Car is moving with a non-uniform motion. I already said in this today's class that if any body is moving with non-uniform motion, the body is moving with an acceleration. I hope you understand this. The thing is, if any object is moving with a non-uniform motion, we can say that the particular body is moving with an acceleration. Here I want to take an example, a moving car. Car is moving with an non-uniform motion. Let me draw this diagram. The car. Let's imagine it's a single seat car. Let's say the car moving with an non-uniform motion. It is moving with a non-uniform motion. So non-uniform motion. Non-uniform motion means the car is moving with an acceleration. With the help of this engine force, the car is moving with an force. With the help of this engine force, the car is moving with a non-uniform motion here. Of course, is an example of car moving. Now, what are the forces acting on this car here? What is the net force along the horizontal direction? And what is the net force along vertical direction? Now let us find in this topic now all these things. First let me find out what are the forces acting on this car, and after that I will calculate the net force along horizontal direction and also the net force along vertical direction. To do this, first we need to represent all the forces which are acting on this car. The thing is here, we need to take a coordinate system. The coordinate system we need to take. The coordinate system with x and y axis, plus x axis, minus x axis, plus y axis, minus y. I have taken a coordinate system with x and y axis. The thing is, you need to follow the sign conventions along positive x-axis, along negative x-axis, positive y-axis and negative y-axis. You have to follow the sign conventions. I already said while adding the forces, we need to follow the direction of the forces. The direction of the forces also we need to take into the account. Nothing but we have to follow the sign conventions here to find the net force acting on this car. Net force acting on any object. I hope you understand this. Now the thing is, to find out the net force acting on this car along horizontal direction, we have to add all the forces which are acting along x-axis with the sign conventions. To find the net force acting along horizontal direction, we need to add all the forces and we have to follow the sign conventions while adding these forces, and the final result is net force along horizontal direction. Like the same way, if you add all the forces which are there in vertical direction and again you have to follow the sign conventions, then finally you will get a value which is nothing but net force along vertical direction. Okay, first let me show the forces which are acting on this car. As the two tires are in contact here with this floor, two normal forces will be acting here. One of the force is like this, upwards. It is like this, normal force N1. As the tire is contact with the floor here, so the ground is applying force on the tire, which is nothing but a normal force. So N1 I have taken here. Another tire is contact with the floor. Again the ground is applying force on this tire. So this is N2, normal force N2, and force of gravity, nothing but weight of the car acts vertically downwards. Force of gravity or weight of the car acts vertically downwards, and as the car is moving in this direction with the help of the engine force, there exists a frictional force also here. The thing is, the tires are contact with the floor and the car is moving in this direction towards right. The frictional force also exists here. I already discussed in the previous class what is the frictional force. The force which is resistance to the movement of an object over the surface of another object, and the direction of frictional force is opposite to the direction of the motion. As the car is moving right side, the direction of frictional force acts opposite to the motion of this car. It is like this. These are the forces acting on the car. Along horizontal direction, 2 forces are acting, and along vertical direction, 3 forces are acting here. Now the thing is, I will calculate this net force along horizontal direction. Net force along horizontal direction. I will take here x. X indicates along horizontal direction. Net force along horizontal direction. The condition is we have to add all the forces and we have to follow the sign conventions. This is the F, force applied by the engine. This direction is towards positive x-axis. So plus F. As I said that we have to add. So plus, and the frictional force direction along negative x-axis. So minus F. So the resultant is F minus F. This is the net force along horizontal direction. Now the net force along vertical direction, along y-axis. The thing is, N1 and N2 and W, 3 forces are acting along vertical direction. So N1 and N2 along positive y-axis and W is along negative y-axis. Now N1 plus N2 plus, I am adding all the forces and I am following the sign conventions also. W is along negative y-axis, no? So minus W here. So finally it is written as N1 plus N2 minus W. This is the net force along vertical direction. I hope you understand this. Resultant force along horizontal direction and resultant force along vertical direction. With the help of free body diagram, we calculated the net force along horizontal direction and vertical direction.